By the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
As the fire continues to ravage the neighborhoods of Los Angeles with no sign of stopping, the world is discovering more and more horrific images of the damage, while wondering about the causes of these fires, which are among the most devastating in the history of the United States. In the previous video, we presented you the blasphemy that took place in Hollywood a day before the fires began, but that's not all. There was something else. Donald Trump. Yes, we are going to analyze Donald Trump's speech addressed to the Palestinians and the people of the Middle East in general on January 7, 2025, a few hours before Los Angeles began to burn. In his barbaric and aggressive speech, Donald Trump has threatened to transform the Middle East into hell if the Israeli hostages were not released before he gets into the White House on January 20th.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. If the deal isn't done before I take office, which is now going to be 2 weeks, all hell will break out.
That same day this speech was delivered, instead of the Middle East, all hell broke out in the USA. In fact, the horrific scenes of wildfires we are seeing in Los Angeles are a witness that no one in this world has power and control. Sometimes God allows the leaders and the so-called powerful people in this world to have the illusion that they can do whatever they want, including threatening others who they may consider weak and deprive them of their rights. But a time comes when the Almighty intervenes and says no, so that these people may reflect and correct their behavior. In his speech, he did never pronounce a word about those who have been killing thousands of innocent people, including babies, children, and women, to stop their crimes. Not at all. He only threatened to add more affliction to the people whose suffering has exceeded the limit of what any human being can endure. Why not start by asking the aggressors to stop their aggression and their colonization before threatening the victims who are trying to defend their territory? Again, as we said in the previous video, we are not judging and confirming that what is happening is a punishment from God. Only God knows, but what we can confirm is that this is happening by the will of God, and there is a strong message for those who can reflect. This is a reminder for all humans that no matter how much wealth we accumulate and how powerful we may think we are, we should never delude ourselves in thinking we have control on this world. We are talking about the most powerful country on the planet, the wealthiest nation in the world. But despite all their power, wealth, and technology, they are watching helplessly as a fire destroys everything in its path, turning entire neighborhoods into ruins. Today, their power, wealth, and technology are of no use to them. This is a demonstration of the fragility of human power against God's might. The fires raging in California have devastated people's lives, destroyed properties worth of millions of dollars, and left thousands of people homeless in a matter of hours. These are the terrifying consequences of a worldly fire, but imagine the fire of the Day of Judgment, which is definitely more severe and eternal, a fire whose fuel is men and stones. Holy Scriptures say that every time the fire eats away people's flesh, God will replace it with new flesh, so they can continue to taste the punishment. This is the fire which has been prepared for sinful people, those who transgressed in this life and did not observe the limits set by their Creator. We ask the Almighty God to allow us to be humble in this life and be among those who establish justice by giving people their due rights. We ask God to turn hatred into love, oppression into freedom, and violence into loving embraces. May God give us strength and wisdom to continue to speak out against oppression and injustice. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum.